I got into dumpster rental from over 20 years in the building and remodeling industry. I did window and door replacement specifically for 20 years. Show up to a different house every day and meet the people for the first time and then take all their windows out of their house. Even on days like today when it's 5 below zero, that's what I would do. So it's my wife and my son there. Woody, he's 9 now. That picture was taken on Thanksgiving. In the background, you can see there's a corn crib. And after we took this picture, we walked up the hill and noticed that somebody had dumped a whole dump trailer full of building materials behind our corn crib there. That was before I was in this business and really thought that they just dumped it there to save money. But now that I'm in this business, I realize that the landfills are closed on Black Friday and the whole weekend. And he probably just wanted to rent his trailer out again. That's why he dumped it there. But I was able to track him down through a paint code on a Sherman-Williams paint can and find out who dumped it there. So kind of interesting. But this is my 1920 house. We're in Rice County, the north side of the county, right by Scott and LeSueur County lines. Um, I reused a house. We bought this. Somebody was going to buy it and tear it down, and we really did a ton of work on this place. It's been a lot of fun. I have a couple other examples in the next slide here. Yeah, we jacked it up in the air and built the foundation under it. I was a part of the whole process. I hired some block layers, but I was in the hole carrying blocks around and helping everybody out. Next slide, please. There's kind of a couple before and afters of what the house looked like. I did gut the thing down to the studs and redo electrical and everything. We kept the original floors and staircase. Next slide, please. Old house, lots of lath. We had 4 different types of windows, different colors. They're ice on them. They're in horrible condition. Me being a window installer, I replaced all the windows. But I reused that lath into all of my shelving. That's my pantry right there. Ripped them all down to 1.25 inches. So they're all the same size and left that rough cut look to them, sanded them a little bit so nobody's getting slivers. Just threw a little clear coat on it. The 2x4 that's holding that up is an old wall stud from in the house too. You can keep rolling. Oh, this was fun. This is a ladder that I pulled out of a dumpster, a few ladders actually, and you can see I'm clamping them together. These were horrible condition. They were splintered into 3 pieces, and re-glued them together, took them all apart, and made a nice bathroom shelf. The rope that's holding that up is actually from a window. That's an old window weight rope, and the knob is from an old storm door that I had removed from a house a long time ago. So that's our chicken coop. That's my boy Woody again. This is an old chicken coop. In the top left photo, you can see where the plywood where I started, that whole roof was caved in and in really rough shape. The windows are from a contractor that I used to subcontract for. Those were the display windows that the salesman would carry into the house. The door that is right under my son is an old uh, front door from a house in South Minneapolis that I removed. I put that in there. Okay, yeah, there's some pictures of me in my window career. The picture on the left is in my house. All the jam material that touches the window, the very top board, and what would that be, the second one down, those are all reused materials. The flat casing is brand new material, but all the jams and the 2 pieces in the top there were all reused materials from leftovers in my window career. So I actually saved all kinds of 12-foot pine to use in my house because I was planning on doing this, and you know instead of throwing it away, I just saved it for a really long time and finally got around to it. So um, that is my old front porch in the house on the left side. Had an angled floor of Douglas fir. The rest of the house is all maple. So when I ripped this up, I saved it all. The bath shelf there is one of the reused projects I made. The handles are also from the old windows of the house. The tub, I carried that out of a house in Northeast Minneapolis. It's a 1926 tub. It has the date on the bottom of it. kind of exciting. I bought reclaimed lumber from a place in St. Paul, and I can't remember the name of the place, but it was yellow birch, and it matched the original maple floors really well. So all that stuff I tore out, I still have a lot of it that I'm saving for future projects, but use reclaimed lumber when I refilled those floors in. So I'm an extremist. Look at the extreme lengths I go to save stuff. You know, these garbage cans are, $50 a piece. Why would I go buy a new one when I have zip ties and some leftover glue from a couple projects? So just to give you an example of what a radical I am, I threw those photos in there. This is pretty exciting. The picture on the left and the tunnel, that is in South Minneapolis in the Hiawatha Metalcraft building. There's a maker's space there as well, where they have like a giant library of tools. You can go in there and do welding and woodworking and all different kinds of things. It's not part of the Hiawatha Bowl, but it's in that building. So the top surface, there's two layers of plywood, and then the very top surface is masonite. All of that came from a public school that they had refit brand new floors in the school, and they put the masonite on top of all of the floors to protect the floors during construction. So it was a temporary use once and throw away material that we salvaged from dumpsters when we were building this place. The tunnel, all of that lumber was from backyard ramps. So I went on Craigslist. This is before Marketplace, or before I knew about it, anyways, and found all these backyard half pipes. And people wanted $2,500, 3 grand, and I'll take it apart and haul it away for free. How about that? And we use that in all the underground tunnels in here that you can actually skateboard in that are underneath that entire ramp. So I actually originally wanted to call that place the Recycle Bowl, but they settled on the name Hiawatha Bowl. That is the name. It's a private club. The one on the right is the old ramp at my old house in Bloomington. So a lot of what I do, clean out houses. I rent dumpsters and I clean out houses. So this was a guy who had passed away, and the wife left the basement as is since the 1990s. Tons of brand new stuff with the tags on it. They had rooms where she would go in and grab a gift for the kids on their birthday and on Christmas out of this giant pile of brand new stuff. So um, I brought separate containers to this project. I had a full dumpster just full of clothes that were donated, several mattresses, a lot of furniture. I can't remember the exact number. It was 7 or 9 dumpsters that were recycled, and only one that ended up in a landfill. So a lot of good stuff happened at that house. The customer actually hired me because they saw online that I do stuff like that. So this was last week. This is 2 dumpsters from Rice County. The top pictures of before, the bottom pictures after. I'm not capturing all the material in these pictures. I'm just grabbing the easy stuff, like the cardboard and the paper, um, pieces of furniture that I can donate. Do a lot of donating. I don't really have time to sell stuff, so if I can find a place that'll take the stuff for free, I'm more than happy to do that. Put in the work to do it. So go ahead to the next one. Picture on the left, that was another public school. That was something called a Gaga pit. I'd never heard of it before that. I guess you put kids in this little enclosure and they kick balls at each other and burn some energy. But they were redoing their parking lot, and that rubber was actually on top of it. So I was able to donate that stuff to a guy, a family, and they were using that for a playground in their backyard. So all that stuff there was from one day. The bicycle, there's a bench there, a propane tank, um, some brake parts there that are actually worth more than steel. So I keep a separate container for those. On the right, that was one of the donations to free bikes for kids. We had 65 bicycles in one week. I used it as part of my marketing. So I'll go pick up your bike for free. It gets donated to free bikes for kids. There's, a little bit of a tax write-off there, but I'm getting my business out there and doing good things at the same time. So I'm doing it for free, but I'm using it as a marketing tool. So that's how I'm able to make the money on the good stuff that I'm doing is by, using that as the marketing tool rather than spending money on advertising and, Facebook and Google ads. Do something cool like this that helps people out and people are willing to share it on their own. So it kind of sells itself in a way. Another dumpster. This was a construction dumpster down in Waterville, Minnesota. And when I went to pick it up, it was full of sheetrock sand for sheetrocking. And it was dry and hadn't gotten wet. And believe it or not, none of these bags ripped when I pulled them out of the dumpster and threw them on the pallets. So I posted online in a Minnesota contractors page that I had all this stuff and had multiple people that wanted it right away. I ended up meeting two different people at a park and ride. One guy had a pickup, the other guy had a little like Volkswagen car or something, and he loaded up every seat in the car in the trunk with 60-pound bags of sheetrock sand. But these guys were using it that day, so it just worked out great. I ended up dropping that dumpster off at my rental in Egan that day. Dropped the stuff off with the two contractors 10 minutes away to my dumpster rental, so it couldn't have been any easier. Reclaimed siding. This was way up north, way farther than I like to go for my dumpster rental. I can't remember, Zimmerman or something. A lot of times contractors will call me and they'll say, Joe, we started ripping off a roof this morning and we forgot to order a dumpster. Can you get one here? It's out of range. Can you get it here? Yeah, sure. We'll throw $100 on or something for fuel. And but I ended up going up here, and when I picked up the dumpster, I noticed it was all awesome half log siding that was in great shape. So I talked to Jeremy at Lumber Stash, and he gave me the recommendation on a nail gun, a denailer, pneumatic denailer that pulls the nails out of that stuff. And again, I went on Facebook and said, I need your help. I'm trying to get rid of this material and want it to go to a good home. So this guy was doing a shed and a chicken coop and used this for his siding. Um, it was all in great shape. The person just didn't like it anymore and wanted to go with an LP siding. So we were able to reuse that as well. In addition to some of the reused stuff, I really like recycling vinyl siding. That's like my favorite thing in the world is vinyl siding recycling. It's not being done around here. I knew it was. I've seen it before that there were containers at Allside and ABC and stuff where you could drop the vinyl in and dump it for free, and they would supposedly recycle it, but that's not around anymore. So I've been working with Revinylize, an organization that is an industry funded in the PVC industry to try to get some more post consumer recycled material back into production. So it is getting reused as siding and as vinyl windows again, but a little bit of processing involved in that. So I did apply for a grant. It's through Revinylize, so it's an industry funded grant, not a taxpayer funded grant. So I really like that. Applied for that on Friday. So hopefully they'll give me a bunch of money and I'll be able to buy a nice machine to process more of this stuff. So this, I take a lot of pictures at landfills. If you give me your cell phone number, I will text you pictures of landfills all the time, and you'll be really annoyed. The picture on the left I took because it's all vinyl siding on that left corner. That's at DemCon. And that's so much vinyl siding there. And it's crazy. These two pictures are 1 year apart. If you notice the left picture, I'm looking down into the landfill. The area that I'm photographing in the left picture is that giant hill on the picture on the right. So in 1 year, I'm not looking down. I'm not driving down into the landfill. I'm now driving up a hill to dump. In 1 year, it's gained 100 feet. The landfill has. So there's an incredible amount of material. It's overwhelming, and if you care about stuff like we do, it's hard to be walking on material and driving on material that doesn't need to be there and could be um, collected and processed. If honestly, if we just had a system in place, places for the stuff to go and easy ways to collect it. So that's what I'm working on. All right. There's some information on me. My Facebook is on the right. I do Nextdoor and LinkedIn and stuff. I'm not on there very much, mostly Facebook and such. You'll notice the picture of golf clubs down there on the bottom. I would love to host a dumpster golf club tournament. If anybody wants to do this, maybe we could do it through reuse or as a fundraiser or something. And some of them are full sets, some of them are wood, some of them have 5 clubs in them. I think it'd be fun just to grab a bag. You only have 3 clubs. The other guy's got 12. We're gonna go try to raise some money and have some fun. So
That is an amazing idea. Like draw straws, and that's the bag that you get, or whatever.
yeah, that's what you get. So I've been
Oh my
saving them. I
gosh.
have I have a lot more than that. I've you know
Yeah, you need like
skis too.
highest donor gets the first pick of all the bags.
Oh,
Like,
Emma's got it.
There you go. Little extra money. I'll throw some polo shirts in the pile too or something.
That's